Test, test, test. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. 5. Next time. I'm coming on a little bit late tonight. I meant to come on around 8 o'clock, but I got a little busy, and so here I am. Our topic tonight is not, this topic is not meant to offend anyone, to make anyone angry, but it's just truthful, and I have statistics to back it up. Back in the 1960s, right after the Civil Rights Movement, Barry Goldwater, he came in, he started the conservative movement. And black people felt like they had to be galvanized to combat the conservative movement, so it started a voting bloc, which was started by uh, Jesse Jackson, Andrew Young, Julian Bond, Adam Clayton Powell, Roy Ennis. They collaborated with people like CORE, the Urban League, the NAACP, and many other civil rights groups to all vote for the Democratic platform because they felt that it was the best platform for them. I mean, when you look at now, even now, the Democrats are not the best platform, not the perfect platform, but it's the best one for us. If you don't believe it, just look at what's going on now. This wouldn't have happened with the Democratic president, especially not with Kamala Harris. So, and we had that block for quite a while. We were voting as a people, not as a gender, not a black men and black women. Because we used to just say black people, now we're divided. We would vote like 95% as a people for the Democratic candidate. We would get people to the polls and had a very high turnout. But something happened. So during that time, with the high turnout, men was running it. Now, I don't mean I ain't got nobody, but listen, you may not like it, but because you don't like it, don't mean it's not true. They were on the precinct. They will work all the way down to the precinct level. Have people getting people to the polls, signing them up, and having they were getting a very good turnout. And whenever people who are against us try to work against us, you know what they do? Ladies, y'all not gonna like this. They turn to our women. Women are now in charge of the men, the women. They help them to gain the power. Women are now in charge of the electoral process. And if you notice, the voter count has gone down, and we really haven't won a major election since. That's just the facts. You can't run the election just by the internet alone, or just because you say I'm a black woman, vote for me. Now here these mats come again. I don't see them all day long until I turn these lights on. Okay, it don't work like that. As a matter of fact, when you run in an election, you have to leave your race and gender out of it as much as you can. And Kamala Harris, it wasn't her. She wasn't doing it. It was the people around her and in her group. And all over social media, they made it seem like a sister girl movement. And other people are not going for that. They even turned some black men off of that. They could have never turned me off that much. See, because you don't like something don't mean you vote against your people. Because something you didn't like, now, I didn't like that. But when the last count came in, it was just 5 percentage points difference between black men and women. So, and that's not very much in a national election, which it's about normal, really. And then numeral-wise, more black women voted for Trump, numeral-wise, because there's more black female voters than men, because there's more black men, more black women than men. Then a lot of men got felonies and can't vote. Well, I'm talking about the voters, not those who can. I'm not going to say that. I'm not worried about the ones who can't vote. I'm talking about the ones who voted. But so when you look at numeral advantage women have, and look at the percentages, draws out about the same. But when you listen to people talk, you think black men just simply jumped ship. Had nothing to do with Kamala Harris. Even Joe Biden got to thank black women, left black men completely out. And black men voted in the high 80s, close to 90% for him. But see, a lot of people don't pay any attention, but you have some people that get disenfranchised because they think they'll, get mad. And, some people do. They feel slighted. They do something out of spite, which is not good, but it happens. Can't change that. It happens. But look, Hillary Clinton, when she ran, she did not make it about her gender or that she's a white woman. She actually beat Trump in the popular vote, almost 3 million votes. That's why I say this is not a democracy. How can someone win by 3 million votes and still lose the election? If that happened in Guatemala, Nicaragua, or somewhere, the United States wouldn't recognize that government. Be ready to go to war against them. She won by almost 3 million votes. Now, if the election was going to be contested, that should have been the one. See, Trump can't win. He can't even win against an old man. He can only win when he run against women, because a lot of white men, they're not going to vote for a woman. You all talk about black men, but white men are repressive with women. Have you ever worked with a white woman? Come and work with them black eyes and swollen jaws? See, they're repressive. It wasn't black men who give women less money for the same work. It wasn't black men who women had to fight for the right to vote or the right to work. That wasn't black men. I've worked with white men when a woman come on the job, it didn't make no difference what her race was. They were angry because she was there. The black man was glad to have a woman on the job. Not trying to talk to her, but just to have a woman there. But the white men, you know why the white men say sometimes? She's not a real woman, because if she was, she wouldn't be working on a man's job. It's not a man's job no more. It's whose job, whoever working it. That's whose job it is. But look, the women, getting back to the voting process, this didn't happen by mistake. It happened by design. That was the way they did this to prevent black people from having that voting block. You notice how, and black women think you came up with this on your own. Do you know this country's good at propaganda, ideological propaganda? You put stuff in your head. That's why that's why you see white people think black people don't work, even though they see you working every day. Ideological propaganda. They thought black people was going to come work on the farms because black people don't have jobs. Yet they see black people working every day. Ideological propaganda that they've been fed. That's why they want them to stay sleeping, don't be woke. Put a black face on it, they'll go along with it. But look, they got black women want to run everything. And you are basically now, and we've been stagnant ever since. Our population has barely increased. Other people overtaking us. It used to be black and white. That's black, Hispanic, white, Hispanic, black, Asian, and others. It used to be just black and white. But we're stagnant. We haven't accomplished much in the last 50 years. Since black men haven't been running things. I might get mad, but it's the truth. Who have we been getting elected? Black people. Black women do some things that for yourself, for your own personal benefit, but I'm talking about as a people, for your people, you don't get anything accomplished. The way they do it is by, you know how they first started out with affirmative action. What they do is we did with affirmative action. We really didn't benefit much from that, but if any black people benefited, it was black women. The reason for that was because They saw black women as a double minority, black and woman. Black men benefit hardly anything from affirmative action. There was a period back around in the 70s, in the early 80s, when black women was getting all type of jobs, but the black men weren't. And you know that was going to cause problems because, see, women, children, women, and pets are loved. Black men are tolerated by what he can produce and do for folks. That's just the way it is. You talk all that love talk you want to, let him lose his job. But look, they knew it's gonna cause problems when the women getting the jobs and the men are not. Because they know that love talk is just talk. And then it did cause problems. And the women stopped listening to the men, felt like they had to run everything. They start running the communities. Now we have very few marriages. One out of every four women were married in their lifetime. The black male marriage rate is actually higher than the black female marriage rate. Some people choose not to get married, which that's fine. That's what they want. I'm talking about those who want to get married. It's hard for them to find someone. But when you start looking at the bottom, yes, it's going to be hard. And by the time you get to where you can find someone decent, they're not going to want you because you done mess your life up. See, one thing about you have to realize about men, if you got children and they were born in a marriage, even a millionaire don't mind that much. He don't mind that. But when you just had it by any old Pookie or Ray Ray, that's when they mind. Because any woman you talk to, she was married and she had her children. If you notice, he don't care. He don't care about the children. Because he respect that. But you see, one thing about it, though, is that when our women take over, they only want to provide and look out for women and not everyone. If you notice, anytime women do stuff, they talk about black women. Leave the men completely out. But what do the men talk about? Black people. I've even seen where some women was talking on some of the different platforms, and when they mentioned about the different things going on in the country, excuse me, they would mention, I would heard even black women say, women, people of color, immigrants, the homosexuals, black men were completely left out, even by the black women. Just as when the other people doing those marches, they talk about the disenfranchised people, they mention everyone except black people. The black women mention everyone except black men. Now, how long do you think men are going to keep putting up with that? Men had to take back control of the electoral process, and we're going to get any victories. And I tell you, we don't need people who can just talk a good game, have good comebacks. As much respect as I have for Jasmine Crockett. I've talked to her before. I have pictures of me with her up on my Facebook. And but she's good. She's witty. But wit, you don't need wit in negotiations. She'll be good on a team. She may be good in negotiations. But don't think because a person is witty that they can go in and negotiate. Because look at what happened on the Senate floor. Remember how they got the Democrats snuck that vote in that the Republicans didn't want about the Epstein thing, which that Epstein stuff. I'll talk about that a little later. But we gotta get him on whatever we can get him on. Though. There was a Hispanic man and a Hispanic woman who did that. These black people been doing all that talk, but what have they really accomplished against Republicans? That's what you have to look at. What have they accomplished? This man and woman don't keep up a lot of noise, but look at what they accomplished. I keep looking down at the wrong thing. Yeah, but look at what they accomplished. My camera's over there. Look at what they accomplished, and they don't keep up a lot of noise. That's why I try to tell people: keeping up a lot of noise don't mean you can get the job done. This man and woman got the job done. It may have been about Epstein, but because you stop and think about it, I'm gonna draw for a minute. All that Trump has done. See, this country has a problem with a sex thing. It is a person could get more time for rape than murder. All that Trump has done for what this MAGA mad about. Something got to do with sex. When a man go to jail, he get killed if he rapes somebody. But the people who kill somebody is held to high esteem in jail. They're on the top tier level. And people think that's something smart because a murderer killed somebody else because he raped somebody, but he didn't kill folks. And folks applaud that. A criminal killing a criminal. But back to what I was talking about. Look, they got something done, and that's what I'm talking about. A lot of times the women, especially black women, will keep up a lot of noise and a lot going, but you're not getting much accomplished. Jesse Jackson, Roy Ennis, Andrew Young, and all they even that thing called Souls to the Poll. They got people to the polls, and black people voted in a very high percentage. I think how many percentage of black people didn't vote? Almost 70% of black people didn't vote. And then had they voted, Kamala Harris would have won by a landslide. I believe it's 70, 65, something like that percent. Even though it was a high percentage, didn't vote. I don't have my iPad. Looking on my iPad. They didn't vote. And we wouldn't have this mess going on that's going on now. We gotta get some competent men back to running things. Quit being little jellyback weasels bowing down to these women every time they raise their voice. See, a lot of men was raised by women, and they used to being yelled at, fussed at, and think nothing of it. See, I didn't come up like that. I had my mother and father in the house. And see, if she yells, you got a mouth too. Oh, he matching mine. No, you matching his energy. Because you come to him in a masculine way, you matching his energy. What are you supposed to do? Just stand there and let you yell at him and he say nothing? Then he say something, oh, you matching my energy. Well, quit bringing that to him. He's not going to just sit there and don't say nothing. When you come masculine, you matching his energy. He's not matching yours. Now, if you come to him in a feminine way and he matched that, then you can say he's matching your energy. But masculine is his energy, not yours. At least not supposed to be. It is nowadays. But look, what we're gonna have to do is the men gonna have to stop being little jellyfishes. And these women get angry, let them get angry. They're angry anyway. Even when you don't do nothing, they're angry. So let them be angry. But we have to take back control of our politics. Because they've ruined it, they've mishandled it. They mishandled it with Kamala. They mishandled it with... I said it during the campaign. That they need to stop that. They're treating this like a sister girl movement, like she's running for president of a female sorority or something. That turned people off. And white folks and these other folks not going. Black men may go for it. We used to hearing you talk that way. These other people not going for it. And I really wanted to see Kamala Harris elected. When they was talking about her, oh, she put a lot of black men in jail out in California, put a record number. But but a record number of black men was committing crimes. What's she supposed to say? You're not going to jail because you black? She also got a record number of black men out. But they didn't tell that part. Another thing, was she putting a record number of innocent black men in jail? They were men who had committed crime. And she helped to get a lot of them out. That's one part they didn't bring up. And we didn't bring it up. The black women didn't bring it up. That should have been brought up. Her record should have been what was ran off of, not her race and her gender. That should have been the last thing that was being mentioned. Because you knew that was going to turn a lot of people off. They did it in Georgia with Stacey Abrams. They were in her campaign and said, I said it then. They need to stop that harping on the fact that she's a black woman. If a black man run, Obama, he didn't run off his race and his gender. And when he may let other people say it, but he didn't say it. Kamala, she didn't really do it herself, but she did go to a lot of black female events. It's filmed at a lot of it. And they said there was a lot of black men at her rallies. When her backdrop, you never saw black men. You saw white men, Hispanic, every kind of man, every kind of race of women, and men except a black man. I saw one time when they veered the camera off when she was going out the door, and he was way back there by the door. And somebody should have told her, we need some black men in back. Optics, that's one thing about Trump. He know how, his people know how to control the optics. They would even have them some black paid stepping fetches back there. He would mention black people, mention black men. Did Kamala ever mention black men? Which really she shouldn't have. Because when a black person is running, you got to play down the race. We know you're a black woman. That's why I voted for you. Why did I vote for Black Obama? He's a black man. Why did I vote for Kamala? She's a black woman. Everything else just fell behind that. Why did they vote for Trump? He's a white man. Why come they didn't vote for Hillary? Because she's a white woman. And I'm going to tell you, if the Democrats want the White House back, they're going to have to run them a crazy white man, a crazy white Democrat, if they want the White House back. Don't come with no black man, no black woman, no homosexual, lesbian, none of that stuff, no Hispanic. Come with you a white man. That's the only way you're going to get the White House back. Then all that stuff about getting other people elected, we can do it after you get the White House back. But Trump people, the Republicans have been outplayed. You know why? They're even in the district, in the states, they're outdoing the Democrats. The Democrats are playing checkers, and the Republicans is playing 4D AI chess. Still come with that old nice, cute talk, trying to play by the rules. They're not playing by the rules. They're not obeying the court. Supreme Court is nothing no more. The Constitution is nothing no more. They're not obeying the rules. You don't obey the rules. They said that they don't not obeying the laws. Get some of those generals in the military on your side. Go in up there and say, the law says you can't arrest the president. You not obeying the laws. We're not going to obey it. We're making a new law. Congress. The president can be arrested. Get the military on your side. Get them generals, go up in there and throw some handcuffs on that man. If they're not going to obey the rules, you're not going to obey the rules. I remember when I was with Jay Krause, and we had the kids playing basketball. We taught our kids how to play by the rules. Every now and then you go and play a team with the referees, and just letting them play any kind of way. We would go to the referee and say, look, hey, don't you see what they're doing out there? So we told them, look, our kids play by the rules. If you're not gonna let them play by the rules, you're putting our kids at a disadvantage. They kept letting them do it. We told our kids what to do. Because they were our kids from the streets. We'll pick them up sometime they haven't even practiced. Y'all want to go play basketball? Go up there and play them Catholic schools and blow them out. They haven't even practiced. And our kids was from the street. Now, if they want to play some street ball, they came to the right people. Then after theirs get beat up and losing by 50 points, now they want to try to play by the rules. When you're with people who are not playing by the rules, you got to make some new rules yourself. And that's why I say the women are not built for this. You're not strategizing. You didn't get with any organizations to get the vote out. You wanted to do it all yourself. Did you get with any black men groups to try to get the vote out? Looking at the wrong camera again. Did you get with any groups to organize? You just can't say we black women and we gonna do this. Your feelings don't mean nothing to nobody in an election. You gotta strategize, and you all didn't do that. You haven't strategized on none of these elections. You see 3 black women. At least they are women. They didn't think they were. But they started Black Lives Matter, and she was a debacle that was. All 3 of them have been to prison since. One is out right now. The other 2 in jail because this one snitched on them because all that money they stole during the George Floyd incident. Black Lives Matter got some say 100 million, some say 150 million. So I go with the 150 million. They bought mansions, Rolls Royces, just blew that money. And a couple of them, well, all 3 of them had been to prison, but they had been to prison before that over fraud. They had no organization. What was the Black Lives Matter headquarters? Black Lives Matter was more of a slogan than an organization. Every march that concerned black people was calling the Black Lives Matter march. They had Black Lives Matter marches in all white communities, which we appreciate what the white people did, They came out. That's why they started the anti-woke program. White people were waking up. I can tell you about the protest I went to in downtown St. Louis where the audience was over 600 people and I couldn't find a black person. And we appreciate those white folks for what they did. Martin Luther, you do remember what Martin Luther King said? We can't disparage all white people because he said there are some white people who want to see us free as much as we want to be free. We couldn't have ran the Underground Railroad without white people, but it still don't excuse what they did as a race. Because there are always going to be some good individuals. See, black people, we do bad things individually, but we're good as a race. When it comes to helping other people, we're good as a race. That's why you see when white people are homeless, they have to come to the black areas to get help. We're good as a people, sometimes too good. We let people come in our stuff and just about let them start ruling over us. You gotta be wise with it though. Wise as a serpent. Well, I'm not gonna say harmless as a dog. I'm not harmless as a dog. Attack me. I'm not being harmless. I'll leave that part out. But look, but we thank white people for what they did. But that still don't excuse what the race did and is doing. And that's why I say we have to be realistic in our thinking. Black women, politically, you are not getting the job done. Black men gonna have to take this back over. We got the job done. We built this democratic machine, I won't say but black voting machine. You ran it for a while and it just didn't work out. And they wanted you to run it because they knew it was going to be fractionalized. Anytime you want to destroy people, what do? To you all that run the church every Sunday, you use the scriptures you want to use to benefit you. But do you ever quote the scripture that says, if you want to destroy people, a strong man's house? That was talking about people, though. What do you do first? You bind the strong man. You make the man irrelevant. I forgot to put my rings on tonight to show off my rings. But look, you make the man irrelevant. That way you can take charge of his house. And you can loot his house. And that's what they're doing now. The black man has become irrelevant in many things, and our house is being destroyed. Right now, what is black people's culture? We don't have any. Culture is not just your clothes and your dancing and your music and your food. Matter of fact, our food killing us. Maybe that's all. We'll get to that another time. But your culture is supposed to set standards for you, your code of conduct, the way you operate. We don't have that. We don't have a code of conduct. Everyone just do as they please. What is our structure for marriage? That's supposed to be in your culture. How you get married, the way it's done, the process. We don't have that. And we wonder why no one's getting married. I can't say no one, but there's very few marriages. Excuse me. We don't have a structure for it. Where there's no structure, there's failure. I'm sitting in this chair. If it didn't have structure, I'd be on the floor. The black community has no structure to it. With no structure, we're not going to make it. I didn't put my cash. I'm going to put it up right now, though. Y'all send me some money sometime so I can get this up. See, when I first started doing this, I had quite a following, but during COVID, I shut it down for a while. And I had shut it down for a while because I stopped having people come up here. I would have guests on, which I'm going to start back, but I might start zooming them in. Because I got all this equipment where I can do all that. And I'm not utilizing it to its fullest. I have cameras all around the place I can switch to, but I don't want to just keep switching back and forth when it's just me. Now, when I have guests, you'll see me switch to other cameras. But look, we I put my cash out back up. We got the code and the cash out. Because you all used to donate to me. My viewership is down very far. I'm trying to build it back up, especially on YouTube. And if you're all on YouTube, subscribe to Madam B28. She has a very good format there. Subscribe to her channel. And I think you'll like it very much. Hey, Madam B. Yeah. But look though, we have to get back to the basics. Men are builders, women aren't. You are good at certain things you do because, see, if you notice, most of the things women are doing, they're building themselves up for things that only benefit them. Men do things that benefit more than just him. When a man make money in access, he just about want to get married or get a woman, have children. A woman get money in their access, and she see that as independence from a man. You can't build yourself like that. We're not gonna have any good communities for through a couple generations. That's what it's going. If we start now, it's gonna take longer if we don't start now. Because the generations we have now are not marriage minded. The women are masculine, and the men are letting them be that way. And a lot of them have to, or either knock our teeth out. I opt for the latter. Not bring no masculine energy to me. It's going to be met with masculine energy. Because I told you all why. I seen women 5'2", 110 pounds. They'll jump up in a man's face the size of an NFL linebacker and want to box. And be serious. If they bring that kind of energy to him, what would they bring to me? Man my size. So if they bring smoke, I have to answer with fire. And you're not going to like it. And I've gotten to the place now I don't even do no hand fighting no more. So leave me alone. Don't bring me that masculine energy. They come up here in my office. Won't ask you for nothing, want to come fussing at you. I tell you, I ain't gonna say it on here, but I asked them, who the F you think you talking to? You get your teeth knocked out up in here, come up in here like that, and they back it down. And I be serious. You women need to stop that masculine energy. And then hit a man, then when he hit you back, talking about you being abused. A lot of you need to be abused. Looking at what you do. And another thing, that's why I say you men gotta stop being jellyfish for these women. And you don't always have to hit me, just bring too much hostility. I'm not gonna wait for somebody to hit me. That's man or woman. When a man says stuff a woman don't like, I'm still keep looking at the wrong camera. When a man say things that a woman don't like, let me get this out front of me so I can stop looking at it. When a man says things to a woman that she don't like, what does she do? She get angry and hit him. See, if you're gonna be a lady, I'll be a gentleman. But I'm not gonna be a gentleman and be traditional to hyenas and gorillas. You want the man to be traditional, but you're not traditional. He has to stay in his role, but you're not in yours. And if you're 20 years old, talking about I'm gonna put on my feminine side, my girly side, who wants a girly at 20 years old? You're supposed to be a woman. You got women in their 30s, 40s, 50s. I'm gonna put on my girl. Who do you think you are? You're not 12, 10, you're 50, you're 60. If you gotta try to be feminine at 20 and 21 years old, it's too late for you. You should have been raised that way. And if you're not there by now, it's too late to try to make sure your daughters, your granddaughters do better while they're still young. Just try to help them to do better. That's why I say the generations now, we got maybe a couple generations to go. Maybe we'll have it together when it comes to black men and women. If we start now. But we're going to have a couple of failed generations maybe. Because it's too far gone. We don't even really like each other anymore. That's true. We don't really like each other no more. Especially black men don't like the black women. I'm take that back. It's the other way around. Black women really don't like black men. Just the men of the other races not coming at you like that. Because you're dealing with a man you really don't even want. Then look at social media all day long. And we're not even men no more. We're N-words now. You can't do that to a man all day long and think you're going to gain respect from him. He's dealing with you knowing the disrespect you got for him. I'd rather be alone than take disrespect. deal with some more Chinese women than take disrespect. I cannot go to a store. Anytime I go to a store and I see a black woman, she disrespect me in some kind of way. But she don't know it because she's used to it. It's normal to her. They feel like they owe us disrespect. And if you can, and you don't get angry, I don't even pay them any attention anymore. If you get angry and say something, you'll be fussing and have to knock them out everywhere you go. I see a black woman, I expect disrespect. To the place I don't even pay them any attention anymore. I just live my good, peaceful life. And if I can't get with the, I always was the type of man, even when I was younger. If I couldn't get with the kind of woman I wanted, I'd rather not have one at all. Just get a few booty calls. Because I just rather not have one at all. I gotta be disrespected. I don't disrespect, and that's why I don't expect any disrespect. Why I'm not gonna take it. I don't even let the police disrespect me. And I know how to talk to them in a way where it won't get out of hand. One policeman kept talking to me, kept saying, I said, I don't, why are you trying to make me out to be a criminal? I saw their face, the way they look. Then they start talking nice. So you have to know how to deal with people from here, not from here or here. Well, I will if I have to, but I like to try to. I have people coming to me. I can see they mad, want to argue, want to fuss. I mentally disarm them. I'm an expert at that. And I try to tell when the kids used to be mad, I just try to tell them how to show them how to do it. They didn't want to hear none of that. So I teach stuff to people who want to learn. Those who don't want to learn, I don't waste time with them. And you all need to stop that too, wasting your time with people who don't want to learn. Let me get the rest of my rides out of here. Oh, that's delicious. But look, stop wasting your time on people who don't want to learn. Because I know plenty of those. You try to, you talk to them, try to teach them, they don't want to learn. Leave them alone. Because I know some really good black men. I even know a couple black men who are millionaires. Really good brothers. They don't want no white woman. They don't want no other kind of woman. They're not the best looking men. Like me. And they say a lot of times when they talk to the black women don't want nothing to do with them, say to them, oh, you have to see the glare on my glasses now. But then somebody tell them their status. They come back, all the women all over them, man. Like they don't know what's going on. Quit trying to play people. And if they go around black women who disrespect and mistreat them all day long, and then they go around a white woman who's treating them nice, many times don't even know they're millionaires, but like their personality. The black woman thinks because he's articulate and polished, he's a homosexual. Thinking that thug energy is masculine. It's nothing but chaos. Well, who do you think he's going to end up with? He said that 30% of the black males who go to college, who are college freshmen, say they never dated a black girl before. I said this last night, I'm going to say it again. It goes along with my topic. And they asked him, why not? Say, don't you like the way they look? Say, yeah, they pretty. Say, don't you like them? Yeah. Say, well, why come you never dated one? You know what they said? They're mean. No matter how nice we talk to them, they're still mean. And I know what they're talking about. And it's the truth. I told you last night, when you see a black man and black woman with each other talking, look at their energy. The man sitting there calmly talking to the woman, and she's fussing. She's portraying more masculine energy than he is. Who want a woman like that? A man with any sense? Nobody telling you to be. We know we're not in biblical times, and no one's telling you not to have no say and all, but you walking around here acting like a man? Who want that? I see y'all on social media. See, I'm on social media because of what I do. Now I have to know certain things and know how, how things are going. Women talking about, I'm going to be, from now on, I'm going to put on my feminine, my girly side. I've been a real N-word. Who wants you? Like, what man in his right mind want a woman like that? You got to play feminine. Your personality is not something you can put on and take off when you get ready. I'm going to be masculine for the right woman. You think I was crazy? But what were you for the wrong woman? Feminine? That sounds crazy. It sounds just as crazy when the women say they'll be feminine for the right man. Either you feminine or you're not. Because see, people shouldn't determine your personality, you should. And if you got to change your personality for somebody, that's not the person for you. Change them, not your personality. Men have always had more than one woman. If I lived in Africa or India or places where men have, or Saudi Arabia where men have more than one wife, I probably have more than one. But I don't live there. And to you men who talking all that stuff about having more than one wife, you don't live there. You live in the United States of America where men have one wife. That's the law. It's against the law for you to have more than one wife or one woman. Because when you make a commitment, I honor commitments. Now I can't tell you all what to do. I never cheated on a woman, even though she wasn't my wife, because if I make a commitment to her, even if you're not married, if you make that commitment, why violate your commitment? That shows you just a liar. Same with her. Because women cheat just as much as men now. And she have less reason because there's more women than men. But still, men, you got to lead by example. You just can't say I'm a leader and don't do it. But then again, I'm not talking about that kind. This is covering up my sign. I'm not talking about that kind. I'm not talking about who can't lead. See, I did just what everybody else does with black men. When we talk about black men, we talk about the ones who can't do something. Our minds go to, when we say about leaders, get your mind off of those who can't and put it on those who can. Because do you see other people, when they talk about their leaders, they don't talk about, I see people out on social media find men with sagging pants about our next leader. It may be your next leader if you're going to be in a gang, but they're not my next leader. I don't focus on those type of people. Let's stop focusing on our worst men. See, we focus on our best women and our worst men. If you ask a woman about getting married, yeah, but I don't want no man. Who asked you about what you don't want? Why is your mind on what you don't want? Why is your mind on the kind of women you don't want? You think about what you want. Those kind you don't want shouldn't even come across your mind. We focus on our worst too much, and we've been trained to do that. Propaganda ideology, or ideological propaganda that we've been fed. We're trained to judge ourselves by the worst of us, just like everybody else does us. Black women have been trained to judge black men by the worst of us. We're talking about the black women in the college and the man selling drugs. We'll talk about the black women being educated and the men. See, one thing about men don't really have to go to college to get a good job. Women do. The jobs that women did, they were traditionally weren't high paying jobs. So women just about have to go get a degree to get a good paying job. Well, man get a job at a factory, warehouse, fireman, different things, and earn a good just as much or more of a salary than a woman with her degree. Now these degrees are not everybody not becoming doctors and lawyers, and you know, because those are communications and um, those communications and business administration. Those are really BS degrees, you know, and that's what most of them are getting it on. You're not the most educated because you get educated from K through 12. College is training, not education. So quit letting them talk to you like that. Like as though you're so much better than your men because you're not. You're better than them if you keep looking at the worst. And if you keep looking at the worst, you're really not better than them. That's your level. If that's how you think about it, that's your level. I heard women say, I'm keep choosing wrong. If you keep getting with that kind of man, that's your level. You are wrong. You're the wrong one. Because by the time that same man go get with another woman, they living just fine. Got a family, maybe even get married. While you still back there choosing wrong. If you chose him, he wasn't wrong for you. He what you wanted. He was what you wanted. I know people can flip on you and start off one way and end up another, but that don't happen all the time. If that keeps happening to you, you need to start examining yourself, look in the mirror. I've known people who changed on me, but that didn't happen all the time. If it happened all the time, I got to start looking at, hey, what am I doing? You have to do self-examination. Because I tell you, men, you are going to have to learn something too. Because y'all pretty stupid too. A lot of you men I talk to are childish, and you need to shut up about running something until you learn something. But the men I talk about are already ready. They don't have to learn nothing. That's why I say you got to get your mind off the losers and put them on some winners. Because haven't you had enough of the losers? Take your mind off of them. And like I say, if I can't get what I want and I can't find a black woman, I'll give me a Chinese. I had one before. But look, I have no problem with it. And it's a lot of people like Umar Johnson and all them, they talk against interracial marriage. If you can't find what you want in your race, sometimes you gotta step on out. The only thing I don't like is that a lot of those men only want black women for sex. They say it all the time. They want to take them to the motel. I heard the way those white men when they talk to a black woman, they talking to her like they trying to get like they trying to hook up. Then you hear them talking to white women like she's a lady, a gentle flower. The conversation's all the way different. If they want you for real, I see no problem with it. You gotta do what's, you got your own life to live, and you just can't live your life trying to please other people. If you think you gotta move on, move on. The only thing about it, I wouldn't give it somebody just because they that race. It'd be because that's the person I want. I know people who don't care too much for white people. They'll get with a white woman. They like her, not white people. Same way with a white person. They may like that woman or that man. That don't mean they like black people. That's why they say certain people, see, they're not racist, they with a black person. Now they like that person. That don't mean they like you got do you know that there have been Klansmen who had black girlfriends? Why she would fool with him, I don't know. But they still hated black people. So because somebody get with someone of another race don't mean they like those people. They like that person. But you get with a white, the black women usually get with a white man because they mad at black men because he's white. Because white men have said it. They tired of black women trying to hook up with them just because they're white. White men have said it. They've said it to me. I know a lot of white men. And they all tell me how black women say how much they hate black men. I mean black women say how much they hate black men. They tell me that too. But look, we gotta. Only reason I'm saying all this is to say I usually don't talk on this. I talk on political stuff and world events more. But we got a problem right now, and it's hurting us on the world scene. And we gotta stop these black women from taking over the politics. You have ruined it. You ruined the black voting machine. We had a machine that was operating on all cylinders until the black woman took it over. You only talk of black women. Black women gonna do this. Black women. What happened to black people? When you have a rally, you only have black women speakers. When they had that rally for Kim Gardner, the state's attorney who wasn't doing her job over there, wasn't because she was a black woman. She wasn't doing her job. She had a rally out there. I cut my camera off and left. It was like a black sorority meeting. Black female sorority meeting. And if she thought she was gonna get somewhere just by through black women, you see they got her out of there. But I wasn't supporting her because she just wasn't doing her job. She was trying to try the cases right there in her office. She's supposed to ponder the evidence and decide whether to elect to prosecute or not, to elect to prosecute or not decide the case in her office, which is what she was doing. And she wasn't even at her office half the time. She was going off into nursing school. See, one thing we have to realize, we have to quit thinking because a person is black, that anytime people want them out, it's because they're black. Black people, we're just like anyone else. Some of us are incompetent and not doing our job, and many are. But I know where it comes from because many times they have bothered a black person who was competent. So I can see why many would think that, but she was just incompetent. And she needed to go. And what people are not telling you is that outside, you go to City Hall in St. Louis, there were black women out there picketing for her to go. Because many of them were saying people in their family were killed and they know who did it and she wouldn't prosecute them. A friend of mine had 2 sons killed. They know who did it. She wouldn't prosecute them, wouldn't bring charges. So it's not always because they come after you because you're a black person or a black woman. You gotta do your job, no matter what race you are, no matter what your gender is. But the black women were saying because she's a black woman. And I knew that wasn't the case. She was just incompetent. So you black women have to quit thinking black women can do no wrong. I know you're angry now at the stuff I say, but you might not like it, but it's the truth. If you look at the statistics on black people voting from the 70s on to now, you see how it has fallen off. It picked up with Obama, of course, because he was the first black person to run for president. But it's been dipping ever since. Well, a lot of it was because of Republican gerrymandering, like here, they're redistricting. See, many black people are leaving certain cities, so they have to be redistricted, and it's sort of changing. It's changing that office, changing. It's changing the landscape. They have to redraw the district, and when they do that, see, when they redraw the district, then I keep hitting the wrong thing. When they redraw the district, it's usually in the Republicans' favor. Republicans is slick. I mean, they're out slicking the Democrats. Democrats need to take their gloves off. I mean, Democrats got to be dirty. You have to start kicking them in their political nuts or something. Because right now, the Democrats losing this fight. But look, the every office on the state and national level, we've been losing. We've been losing. The black men used to pick those people up, take them to the polls, worked on the precinct level up. The black women are trying to work through social media and just think everybody else gonna fall in line. That's not gonna happen. You got to work at it. Obama had that structure. He had people. I mean, they said Obama had people in places that they didn't even knew existed getting the vote out. And that's the last time we worked like that. That was the last time. Sometimes you have to admit that some other people are better at something than you. The black men were just better at this. Every other people around the world, we're out of sync with the rest of the world. Everyone else has a patriarch system. We have a matriarch system running things, and it's not working because that's not the way the world was meant to run. It was never meant for women to be running men. You men, you go out and get your own stuff, so you don't have to kowtow to these women, and they put you out when they get ready. And you got to be a yes, honey, yes. And see, even when we have, go to your grandparents, what you said, Big Mama's house, even though Big Daddy bought it, and he's still alive. Other people say my grandparents' house. Black people want to talk about Big Mama's house. Big Mama didn't buy nothing. When we measure our bloodlines, we talk about who's your mother, your mother's mother. You know what other people do? They measure their bloodline through their father. And that's your true bloodline. Your mother's people, you are all related just the same. But your bloodline is your father's bloodline. Women don't give life, women give birth. Life comes from the seed. You're the woman's flesh, but you're the man of the man's seed. Back in the biblical times, women was seen as no more than like a photo piece of dirt, which that was a good process, but that's the way it was back then. It's good we evolved from that. Women were seen as nothing. But we don't want you to try to start seeing us that way. You're aborting more babies than anyone. Late term abortion. You get mad at Pookie and Ray Ray. You're no longer with him, so you want to get rid of the baby. I told some women, black women, this was 2001, we was at a meeting. I said, look, you are going to ruin abortion. I said, I'd rather see them have abortion than that mess they got going on now with these women. I mean, it's brutal what they're doing to these women. I said, look, you are going to ruin abortion. You're using it for birth control, and that's not what it was meant for. 1% of abortions was for rape, or half a percentage. 0.5% was for molestation or incest. So rape and incest for abortion was almost non-existent. Now that there's no longer abortion, they're saying that most of the women want to get it now for rape. You're lying. What was all that rape back when you had abortion? That's why I say, tell the truth. Because I was for Roe versus Wade. I'd be for more than what they got going now. But just do it the right way. Don't abuse it. But then, if you cut out every system where there's abuse, that'd be with every system. Yeah, there were some women that abused abortion, but why cut it out for everyone who needs it? There's always going to be some abuses. A lot of people told me, oh, they did to kill black babies. But it wasn't the government, then that was a group that did, not the government, because you know why? Black women had to go all the way to the Supreme Court to be included in abortion. So if it was the government tried to do it, why did they have to do all that? Dorothy Height, she was a feminist. And Maxine Waters, she was in her first term as a congresswoman. They took it all the way to the Supreme Court for black women to get abortion. So if the government was trying to kill black babies, why did they have to take it all the way to the Supreme Court to be included? It was just some groups. There's always going to be some groups that want to do something to you that don't have anything to do with the government. But I like to see Roe versus Wade reinstituted, but just do it the right way, though. Because you got women having fetuses dying. They went too far when they took it away. I don't think they should have eliminated it. Just have people do it, at least do it the right way. There's going to be some abuses, like there is in everything else. But when it's people who they don't like in the first place, when there's an abuse, they want to cut it out. Because the biggest person outside the abortion clinics picketing was white women. And a few old white men. I didn't see any black men out there picketing. Or black women. It was black women and old 80-year-old white men. There may be some at some other times when I didn't see it, but that's what I saw. There are over 28 million since the last 50 years. 28 million black babies was aborted. Now you see why our population wasn't growing? That's why our population wasn't growing. 28 million babies was aborted. And you think there was 28 million rapes, incest, and molestation? Because See, when black people abuse something, they're gonna cut it out. They can abuse it, but they keep it. Black men abuse something, they're gonna cut it out. White men can abuse it and they keep it. What we have to realize, we gotta quit using that excuse. We know how this nation is with us. And keep crying when white people do it. That don't wash. We got to do what's gonna benefit us. And quit worrying about other people. Do what's gonna be you. If you know you can't, if I know a white man can go out here and do something and get away with it, and I know I can't, well, I'm gonna go out there and do it too. Something that's unnecessary. And then somebody, well, the white man did it. I'm not white, and it's not equal. It will never be equal. As long as you got different people, it will never be equal. Now, it wasn't always this way. The Caucasians started the race stuff. People used to fight in wars. It was over nationality and ethnicity. The white man took it to the racial level, caused all the racial problems in the world. White people, rather. He was even abusive to his woman, so I don't know. Still is. That's why a lot of white women say they like black men. Like they say, black men was raised by, a lot of them was raised by women, and they understand treating a woman better than white men do. You think white men are abusive? Any white woman will tell you. And they're very restrictive. Why do you think these black men let women stamp in their face, yell, fuss, and holler at them? They're used to their mothers doing it because most of them don't raise the kids, they bully them. It's not raising, bullying, hollering, screaming at them, hitting them. And so they're used to a woman talking to them any kind of way. I'm not. I won't take it. I'd rather be alone than take that. And a lot of you men, you need to be alone rather than take that. But you stand there and let them women talk to you any kind of way. I see you doing it. All up in the stores. You talking nice to her, she's talking to you any kind of way. And you, I guess, no, now that never be normal with me. Just leave them alone. Find you somebody else of another race if that's what you got to do. I'm not for that Umar. See, Umar Johnson said for black man get a white woman, he hate his mom, all that old stuff. But when a black woman get a white man, everybody celebrate it. Don't care what somebody says. You get who you feel is best for you. And if it's not a black woman, get you somebody else. Not a black man, get you somebody else. Cause we don't like each other anyway, let's tell the truth. And you all keep listening to Umar Johnson, let him steer you in the wrong direction. Telling you not to vote. Somebody's gonna be elected. So all you sat at home and didn't vote, look at what you got now. And when I tell you about ideological propaganda, that's what they've done to black women. It just about turned you completely against black men. Any little thing he do you don't like. You already mad at your next boyfriend, you haven't even met him yet. Now how you think that's gonna work out? You got so much anger against black men that you're angry with a man before you even know him. And you do things and leave him out of everything. You're gonna run a whole political national campaign without black men, and you thought that was gonna work? Then wondering what happened, and the black man still had a high vote turnout for Kamala Harris. They're now saying it was 87% of black women, 92%. That's not that much different. But you listen to people talk, they made it seem like black men just ran to Trump. Found out all that was nothing but a lie. But they had you believing it, didn't they? Ideological propaganda. And they do it to white people. They got white people so messed up that they could be around you, around black people, see black people working, going to work with black people, but still got in their head that black people don't have jobs. They are some of the most propagandized people on the face of this earth and don't realize it. That's why when they fight all the time. Where's some people come out here and paved the lot one time? White people. They never did finish because they got the fighting out there. No, they fight all uncoordinated. We do get a little pretty with it, you know. We put a little style to it. Well, except for the women. They out there. Man went over there and knocked the woman down. She bounced back up. Then the man hit the man, knocked him down. They never did finish the lot. You wouldn't imagine what would happen if some black folks did that. There'd be these old N words, this and that, and this and that. Oh, they can't do these old N words, can't do nothing right. And then some white folks saw they be talking about usual suspects. But I get them on that every time though. But see what the problem is. Um, we hold our own to every little thing and let them go. So everything. We gotta do everything right. Or we're no good. You see a black person walk down the street, if they just talk loud, oh, that them N words go. Which most of us do talk too loud now. We don't need to hear every word you're saying on your cell phone, hollering and screaming in those people here like that. Half a block away can hear you talking on your cell phone. And that's going too far. But we're going to keep, and we want to get some of our people elected, we have to move you black women out the way. And brother, we need to move them any way necessary. They have destroyed this black voting machine. You destroyed it. We can't even get people elected now. It was so bad that Herschel Walker had to go into a runoff against a man like Warnock, pastor of Senator Warnock, the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, King's Old Church. He had to get into a runoff against a bum, an idiot like Herschel Walker. That should have been a landslide. But our political process is so messed up now. Stacey Abrams should have won that election both times against Kemp. But you know what the problem was? That sister girl movement. Like vote for her because she's a black. Then she was heavy on top of that. So a lot of white men weren't going to vote for her just because of her weight. And then you come bringing that, throwing the fact she's a black woman, this and that, you know. Anytime you see Fox bringing up their gender and race, you know something's wrong. Because they're not going to do anything to help you out. Not a black person or a black. No, they're not going to help. They're not going to help no black person. Not on Fox. That was for their viewers. Talking about the black woman running, that was for their viewers. Oh, they slick with it. See, they talk about other countries spreading propaganda. The United States do it too. And they do it to black people. They spread propaganda. Do you see a lot of these fight videos on social media. A lot of them aren't even real. Can someone hit you in the face or you hit someone in the face 30 times? There's no blood. There's no swelling, no injuries. Now who can do all of that and nobody get hurt? A lot of it's AI, not even made in this country. Some of it is y'all now, but the majority of that stuff you can't believe on the internet. And then you all keep posting that stuff. It's not always black people posting it. A lot of white people only because they click on black fight videos. And then once you click on to it, keep sending it to you. They love to get on there to talk about us because when they fight, they talk about the fight. When we fight, they talk about our race. But they've become so irrelevant, nobody don't even pay them any attention anymore. They're on the decline and they know it. They're trying to hold on to their life. They're just about kicking them out of Africa. And it's about time. About 400 years too late. Let them take all your stuff. They built their nation up to be rich and yours still poor. Out in the rural areas, they got trailers and toilets. Out in the rural area, you pooping in a hole. You let them come to South Africa, take your stuff. Then you tell me you want to go to war with black Americans. Well, first of all, we'll annihilate y'all. You better shut up. All that them white folks did to you. And you want to fight us? Who haven't done nothing to you but fought against apartheid for you? We did that. Jesse Jackson got it where the Haitians could come here. Nobody said thank you. They wouldn't even let the Haitians in. Civil rights movement. That's how everybody else got their rights. And now, we're nothing. They talking about we lazy. Why? Because we won't be fools like y'all and get out there in that hot sun. They're not getting their slaves back. Think we gonna get out there in that hot sun and pick that stuff for that little bit of money? Talking about y'all work hard. No, y'all work stupid. But they actually was so ideological propagandized that they thought that black people didn't work, even though they see black people working every day. They thought that if they kicked the Latinos out, this is what the white farmers said. We thought the black farmers would come and work because they don't have jobs. We didn't see black people working every day. Trump said they're taking the black job from the blacks. What job they taking from us? You gotta be crazy. Talking about they like they taking those farm jobs from them. Not our job. Why come you didn't say they taking it from the whites? They don't have jobs, a lot of them. The people who get the most food stamps are middle class white people. They're middle class. Why are they getting them anyway? If they put a black face on it, you'll be against it. Anything, all they have to do is put a black face on it. And you're against it. Even if it's to your own detriment. You're against it. Just like you voted against the farmers and all voted against themselves, the Latinos. Vote against yourself. And to my, where the blacks at? Look at some of those Latino podcasters from last year and back. Clown black people every chance they got. Now black people so lazy, white folks weren't lazy, that's why you had to come get us to pick cotton. You too lazy to do it. You get Latinos to come uh, pick your crops. Because white folks too lazy to do it. The black farmers got machinery in the type of crop they make. They get harvested with machinery. They didn't try to use slave labor like the white ones did. And what some of the white ones talking about burning the black folks' crops. Because the black folks not suffering because they didn't get the government subsidy. But look, let me tell you something. Y'all just get some black folks down there or in that area and guard those black guys for them, light them up. There's going to be some lighting up, but not with the kind of fire they talking about. When you got those government subsidies, black farmers, and got rich off from the black farmers didn't come talking about burning your stuff. When you cheat them out there and fix it where they couldn't get that money, that suit that they won, black folks didn't come burning up your stuff. But me, I would have. But they want to be nice about it. Time out for all this nice stuff. I'm not going out in the street protesting. Like I said, I don't believe in peaceful protests anyway, but don't go out there and do all that. If these people come at you, you got to respond. Come at me and I'm more than with a mask on. We're going to have a time out there. One of us, some of us, and none of us going to walk away from that. I mean that. You might throw me in no van, you're not throwing none of these other people around here in the van. There's no immigrants here. Especially better not try to throw none of these black women in no van. You don't know what they're going to do to them women. You don't know who they are coming around here wearing a mask. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't go who you are. I can know who you are. But you don't know business bothering us. I can see your badge. You don't come around here wearing no mask. You know the history of white men with a mask on around black people. And if you black ones got a mask on, same thing go for you. Yeah, same thing go for you. But we can't protect our women if they think they don't need it. I don't need a man till I need a man. But then when I need one, they supposed to all come running. I don't need a woman. By the time I had a woman because I wanted her. A man don't need a woman to bear his seed. Other than that, he didn't need her. He wanted her. But see but don't let them pull these women up in no van. You don't know who they are walking around here. Mask on, vest on, got tennis shoes on, blue jeans. And you're a policeman, you better come like one. Even if you're a policeman, you better come with no mask and talking about throwing people in the van. I don't care who you are. Yeah, that's gonna be one time we all just may have to go down. If that's the way it's gotta be, that's the way it's gotta be. Black folks gotta stop being scared. We scared of everybody but each other. It's getting pretty late here. I started late. I meant to start around 8 o'clock, but I got busy. I'm usually pretty busy during the day. I'd rather do this in the daytime. I just don't have the time during the daytime. I have a lot to do. But you people in the East St. Louis area soon you start joining watching me on WSL 984 on Charter Cable. It's a city channel. Used to be a city channel. It's mine now. They opt out. It's mine. I do what I want to do with it. Two of them in WSL 993. So I started broadcasting on a cable channel starting Friday. Based for the local people. East St. Louis, lower parts of Beverly Heights, East Corona Lit, Cahokia Heights. I don't think Washington Park in Brooklyn. I don't think you can get it. They just saw Whiteness on there, and also on City of Champions Media on YouTube. For some reason, my YouTube hung up last night. I had to put the recorded version up. And on ESL 89 Blocks Media on Facebook. I got to set up Instagram also. I used to have a lot of people watching. I got to get my audience back up again. I used to hit my cash out. I was I had guests on then. I don't broadcast from my desk when I have guests, or from my smaller studio over there. When I have guests, I have a big studio over there with multi-mic system, and that's where you're gonna see us at. On the 5th. You see us on the 5th with the people from the You Could Begin Again project. And I'm gonna be happy to let them come up. I have a few people come up and do things they built. Oh, excuse me. Maybe on Bluetooth and you don't even know it's my place. I mean, not Bluetooth, green screen, you don't even know it's my place that they're coming from. So, I just want to come on tonight to remind we gotta start working on it. Black men, we gotta take control again of our community. Women-led communities just don't work out. I know the women don't like to hear that, but that's just the way it is. See, if the women taking over, we falling off, so we're stagnant. We haven't gained much in population. If you leave women to choose their own husband, they all have the same few men. The statistics say that women are only attracted to about 10% of the men in the world. That's why men weren't built for a woman to be wanting him for his looks. It was for his ability to produce and build. Not about how cute and fine he is and how good the penis is and all that kind of stuff. That's not what it was meant for. I mean, and what's love got to do with marriage? Marriage used to not be about love. It was about the things I said before, building a family, and it may came later. Because the type of love people talk about is more emotional. It comes and goes. Then you don't have that feeling anymore. Oh, it's not like it used to be. I'm ready for a divorce. Because you don't get tangled like you used to. You don't supposed to. You got to evolve. Your car not going to always have that new smell. Is why you expect people to always have that newness about them. He don't make me happy no more. What is you, 5? 5 years old? Man, I'm gonna make you happy. You dangle things in front of children. You make children happy to keep them out of mischief. Keep them put on a cartoon or something. Keep them happy. You grown woman. I'm not here to make you happy. Them bills being paid. You've been taking care of the man producing that. You ought to be happy of that. I need a man to heal me, but I've been through this and then get you a therapist. If you that broken, you don't need to be with anybody anyway. Ladies, I ain't matching pajamas with nobody. Cut that old childish stuff out. Let's go up out of adolescence. Be adults. Little bitty kids can't go to a pajama party because mama and grandma might help with a pajama party. She at home with a babysitter. Because you at your pajama party. Mama, when I'm gonna have my pajama? Oh, you ain't got time for no pajama party. But she didn't have time for her. Let's grow up. Grown, mature, feminine women know that they can't lead that stuff. They know it. Now, if you want to keep on like you're going, go ahead, but it's not working. Look at what works. And whatever you are doing right now is not working. Never taking accountability. Everything is always someone else's fault. If he cheat, men just no good dirty dogs. The woman cheat, he must have did something to make her cheat. Come on, get realistic. You know that's foolishness. Do you ever bother to ask the man what makes him step out in a realistic way? Are you doing something? Disrespecting him? Won't listen? Do you ever examine yourselves instead of examining him all the time? I've talked to men, they just be talking in conversation because see, one thing about men, when they talk about relationship with someone or woman, they don't tell every little detail like you all do. Y'all tell how long it was, how big it was, everything. Man ain't gonna tell all that. You see what he did, and that's it. But see, I've talked with men who have said, I'm going through the same thing with different women. Every time I get with a woman, I'm just keep going through the same thing. But you know what he would then say? I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong. I must be doing something wrong. You think a woman would ever say that? Yeah, no, she wouldn't say that. You see, I'm going through the same thing with these different N words. I'm tired of these N words. They should stop and think, all these old N words just ain't no good. But the man, he examined himself. You all know I'm telling the truth. You never examine yourself. And right now you're mad over what I'm saying. You're not gonna what are you next? You're not gonna hold on a second. Hold on 1 second here. About to lose power. Hold on. I'm about to lose power in this. I have to switch this over. Y'all know how it is now. The host is everything. The technician, the audio, cameraman, everything. Yeah, there we go. Wrong one plugged into. It almost cut me off. But look, we got to get back to what works. And women leading the community is just not working. Politically or any other kind of way. Our birth rates are down because the majority of black men don't even have children. But they claim men around here making babies all over the place. Yeah, 16, 18% of them making the lion's share of black babies. You all know he had 8 baby mamas already before you had yours with him. You knew he already had a bunch of babies. What makes you think he's a deadbeat? What makes you think he's going to take care of yours? He already had a bunch already. I told you all this last night. Guy knew 28 years old, had 18 children, 10 baby mamas. He's in his 30s now, and I've heard he had some more children. I haven't seen him. Yeah, I've heard he had some more children. You think those women didn't know about those other women and those babies? But still went and had a baby by him? Now complaining? I don't even want to hear those complaints. No one feels sorry for you. I don't. You put yourself in that predicament. It seems like when a man got a woman, the more other women want him. I had women who wouldn't even say hello to me until they saw me with another woman. So you set yourselves up for this. Brothers, y'all need to start being men. Don't let no woman tell you what a real man is. She don't even know what a real woman is. How she gonna tell you what a real man is? You just be a man, the man you know how to be. Talk to somebody who know what they're doing, talking about. You don't let no woman define to you what a man is. She only let her worry about being getting herself together as a woman, a real woman. Stop trying to act like a man. But you all go along with that mess. These black women bring this stuff to you because you let them bring it to you. You ain't got to knock them out and hit them and all. Just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. That's all you got to do. But most of you so indoctrinated, you think you just got to say something. You can't do it. Leave them alone. They're not going to treat you right. They're going to disrespect you. Leave them alone. You're not going to listen. Sooner or later, you got to leave them alone. That's all it takes. You ain't got to stand up smacking her around. Go on about your business. But if you Pookie and Ray Ray and you can't leave, you got to be there. I understand that. But things are how you start off with. Even if it's her house. You can still gain some respect from depending on how you start off. Because most of those men, it may be the woman's house, but he's contributing to that household. If you don't believe me, when he leaves, watch how that house fall apart. I've seen it happen. The house fall apart just about when he leaves. Oh, that's her house. He didn't have nothing. He was contributing. Now, if he wasn't, she's just crazy. See, the thing is, most of these women, they say they're a single household. And most of them got a man in the house. Some kind of piece of man they got up in there. It's not just her and those children by herself. The thing about it, she get with some idiot who can't help raise children anyway. And if she get with a man who do know about children, she don't want him to say nothing to them. Leave him alone, he's not yours. But another man can teach him to drink beer and hit a blunt. You don't tell him he's not yours, don't do that. But when you try to show him something right, all of a sudden he's not yours. Women, y'all gotta get yourself together. Now I'm gonna hear that about what about the men? I'm a man, I'm talking from a man's perspective. We hear enough of the women's perspective all the time. We've been hearing the women's perspective for a long time. Men voices are just now being heard. We don't care what the men say. We know you don't. We know you don't care. We've been knowing that for a long time. Women don't care about what we got. Y'all probably still don't care about what I got to say. Y'all never cared. We always known that. We always known that you don't like us. That's why them men get up in your face joking and laughing, acting stupid just to get you to pay some attention to them. I will not do that. If I gotta live like a hermit, I'll do that before I have to lower myself clown or let a woman disrespect me. Because I know I'm not going to take it too long. I'm not going to take it too long. And if you all want to take it, want to be a beta simp, you go right ahead. Because we don't need your kind anyway. We need men. When I talk about the men I talk about, don't throw Pookie and Ray Ray who can't in order to me. Because I talk about men who can get stuff done, who have gotten stuff done. Those are the kind of men I talk about. If you want to sit here and think about the men on the low end, you go on with them because that's your level. That's what you think about. See, women always think they're higher than their level. Men just about know their level. That's why women say, boy, I be walking around here looking good, my natural hair looking good. The men won't say nothing to me. I put on my weave and all that, they're all over me. Women with their natural hair and looking classy, men know their level. They think that you're above out of their league. That's why a lot of men won't just come to you and say anything to you. The upper level men will sooner or later. Just that you may have ran into any in the crowd in the area that you're in. The men, when you come with all the weave and all that, they see you as a low hanging fruit. More on their level. Everything has a reason. And this thing about all these old men just this. No, he's got reasons for things just like you got reasons for things. On different things, he'll listen to your reasons. You won't listen to his. You know what they did to a poll? You know what prostitutes said? That the majority of men, their clients, aren't single men. They're married. And they said when they're with those men, they say those men actually want to talk more than have sex. They have to tell them, just come on with it, because they got the next client to go to. And like he just go on but he really wanted to talk. And why does he have to come to a prostitute to want to talk? More than have sex. There's some at home, disconnected at home with the woman. A lot of them have told me, say, well, I'm with a black woman. She want to try to turn everything into a competition. I know because I've been there. I'm not competing with no woman in the household. I don't go for that. So you men stay with these women you know you're not satisfied with. And you women go stay with men you know you're not satisfied with. You know you're going to have to break up sooner or later. So it may as well be sooner rather than later. But think about it, y'all stay with the worst men the longest. Stay with Pookie 10 years, can't stay 2 years with Raymond or Paul. Pookie and Ray Ray, you stay 10, 15 years. Have a few babies. Get with Paul and Raymond, can't stay a year or two and don't want no babies. And you wonder why you get the kind of men you get? You stay with them the longest. So that's what you like. Then that chaos not working, I'm going to go get me a good man. Why come you couldn't do that in the first place? Like you going to settle for a good man. You don't settle for something better. You settle for something less. If anything, he be settling, which he's not going to do if he got any sense. We got to come on with it. We dropped the ball for the last 50 years. Let these women take the lead, and they're not doing a good job of it. Even the protests are weak and selling. Every report about black people has declined. Marriage rate, birth rate, everything. our political system. We had a good political machine, good voting machine, and now it's ruined. We can't even get anyone elected anymore. When we used to, we were responsible for a lot of elections. Not anymore, because the women have sister girls away, turned everybody off. And now this is what we got. To tell the truth, you all turned everybody off in this election. The black women did that. You turned a lot of black men off. A lot of them didn't even vote. A lot of black women didn't vote. You can't sit and tell everybody, like, we run this and you better come vote. Ain't nobody going for no mess like that. You didn't run nothing. You thought you run it. But the black men actually ran it when we had it. And we're going to take it back. Even if you all got to give it up kicking and screaming, we're going to take it back. Because y'all ruining it. You're ruining black life. You ruin relationships. You all get the divorce. You all walk away. And only for all the reasons you're saying. You just don't have. You know what most of the divorce records say? Irreconcilable differences. It don't say nothing about these no-fault divorces. It's killed black marriages. It don't say anything about no abuse. None of that. Later on, you lie and say that when it's to your convenience. It don't say nothing about no cheating, infidelity. It said irreconcilable differences. She wouldn't happy no more. She didn't love him no more. The hell with happiness. The hell with love. Not here to make you happy. Marriage is a responsibility, duty, honor, for procreation. Not for you sitting around all lovey-dovey, romance. The hell with romance. Romance is for women, not a man. Men don't even like that romance stuff. They just do it because the woman make a big deal about it. Try to get them some, that's all. What are you getting out of that? That Disney Hallmark stuff so they can sell cards. Men getting tired of violence. Now y'all gotta have Valentine's Day where women give each other gifts. That sounds like a little homosexual to me. But that's what y'all would say if it was men. But that who would think up some mess like that. But look, romance. You know, romance. A lot of you women expect marriage to be a relationship to be one big romance, and then when it's not that way, you think, "Oh, it's over. I don't have that tingly feeling no more." And have you ever noticed the most romantic men who just do whatever it takes to get you usually end up being the crazy ones? No man in his right mind gonna be spending a lot of money on you just met you just in. When a person do go overboard to get you, they usually don't have no good motives in mind. They're usually crazy. I know I'm not going overboard to get a woman. And I'm not gonna pay your bills for no date. I don't date anyway. Y'all got dating confused with marriage. You just messed up everything. You done messed up dating. You done messed up dancing. Men and women don't even dance no more. The women want to put boots on the ground and dance by themselves or with each other. You done messed that up. You messed up date. You think a person dates you? They got to pay your bills or give you money to go on a date with you? Do you all know what dating is? It's not marriage. It's not a relationship. Dating is you take somebody to a movie. Take them to get something to eat. There's no strings attached to dating. But y'all done ruined that. You want to talk about why men don't date no more. Not that version you're talking about. That's why. Why women aren't dating anymore. Because you done messed it up and you expect too much out of a date. Men gonna pay bills where they live. They don't live at your house. Well, one's dating. If he dating, you ain't got no business living at your house. But yo, it's getting late. I better get out of here. But look, as I said, brothers, stop listening to these women. We got to take our place back as leaders. Now, I know what you women thinking about leading. We ain't talking about no Pookie and Ray Ray. But y'all can think what y'all want. I don't even care what y'all think no more. But look, men, let's get this together. Get our voting. We need to get together before the midterm and get that vote out. These women don't know what they're doing. They shown. Look at them. I know you women ain't angry at me saying it, but look at the results. That's why I go by results. Men got results during the voting process. You all haven't gotten any results. We lost every election. That you always were spearheading out front on, we lost it. Even though we have the superior candidate, we lost it. White men are angry at y'all because he don't want no black women now he telling them what he got to do. A lot of black men got angry. They don't want you to tell them you got to vote who to vote for. You got to vote for the black woman. He don't have to. I vote for her because she's black. But that don't mean other men has to. He doesn't have to if he want to. I wanted to and I did. I voted for Hillary, Biden, Obama. Voted for all of them. If Kamala ran again, I vote for her again, which I don't think she'd win. They need to put them a white man as a candidate. That's the only way the Democrats are going to take the White House back. But a white man, maybe even a crazy white man, who's a Democrat. That seems to be what they like nowadays. When they want crazy, make me act crazy. I'm not white, but I go crazy for them. Ain't gonna be grabbing nobody about nothing though. But look, that's all I meant to come on for. I talk longer than I should have. You brothers, we got to get it together. We're like little weasels right now. And women leading you around on a leash like a little puppy dog. But you supposed to be leading, not her. We had no business letting these women take control of the electoral process and getting people elected, helping to get people elected. We had no business doing that. Quit being scared of these women. If they want to leave, let them leave. There's other women out here. Time to stop playing with these women. Get in your rightful place. And maybe we can get the right people in office. And not some scabs. Come on. Pray for your leaders. I'm not praying for Trump. And if I did, he ain't gonna like what I pray. I'm sorry, I'm not praying for Trump. And like I said, if I did, it's not gonna be a good prayer. I'm not gonna do it at all. Those who want to do it, do it. But I'm not praying for him. Not in a good way. Him or none of his bunch. Hell with all of them. Well, I better get out of here, but brother, take what I said into consideration. Please like and share this video. I want many brothers to see it as possible because We can't keep on like we're going, brothers. Tired to these women scared to say anything. You all keep living like that. I'm not. You don't be scared to say something to your own woman. I say what I always say, whatever I wanted to say. If she didn't like it, it was just too bad. She said what she wanted to say. Well, so I better get out of here. But I was when we talk to the brothers. Y'all got to get together, man. Black men are losing. Black people are losing. Anytime you're a man lose, the whole race lose. The whole race is gonna lose because they're gonna help take spoils of the house when the strong man is gone. No more water. Fire next time. That's the name of my program. I have to get ready to get out of here because I'm getting sleepy. And when I get sleepy, I start rambling. I ramble anyway, but even worse than normal. You may say the same thing all over again. So that's why I'm going to call it a night. And thank you all for tuning in. And be sure to tune in again. Next time, hit my cash out. So, thank you. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. And this is No More Water. Fire next time. And I'm signing off. See ya.